Now, while we're on the topic of 401ks, we need to talk about some of the things that you need to keep in mind with old 401ks. It's very common for me to meet with a young couple or a young person, and they are at a great job. And when you look at their finances, they have 2 or 3 or 4 old 401ks at previous employers that they haven't done anything with. To me, that is very dangerous in times like these. And it's because of a little exercise, or I should say it's illustrated by an exercise that I walk through with people very frequently when I'm trying to show them the danger of having an old account out there to which they're no longer contributing. I think we've done this on the podcast in the past, but if we have, just bear with me. If I give you $1 and I put that dollar in the market, and in the first year, the dollar loses half of its value. And at the end of the year, you have 50 cents left. You started at the dollar, lost half its value, you have 50 cents. Now, if the next year you regain half of your value, a lot of people would say, oh, you're back to $1. It went down 50% the first year, up 50% the following year, so you're back at $1. But you're not. You're at 75 cents. Your dollar went to 50 cents, and regaining half of 50 cents would put you up to 75 cents. So it's the same numerical return, negative the first year, positive the next, but you would only get back to your dollar if when your investment lost money, you put money in when the market was low. Now that's what we're talking about with dollar cost averaging, putting in those consistent contributions. But with an old 401k, you cannot contribute to a 401k at a job where you no longer work. So in these instances, having those boilerplate accounts where you have these just very basic investments in a 401k, and then you leave it out there not contributing to it, when you have market losses, it becomes infinitely harder to recover from those losses in those dormant accounts. So my recommendation, if you have those old 401ks, is to do one of two things. The first option is to roll it into the 401k or the 403b at your current employer. And by having those funds consolidated, you are giving yourself the ability to benefit from dollar cost averaging in a consolidated account. So when the market is low, you are buying low with all of your money, as opposed to just buying low with the money in your current 401k and leaving those old accounts out there to starve. That's the first option. The second option is you can roll those funds into a rollover IRA. And to me, depends on the client. There are some times when I recommend they go into their current 401k. There are other times where it's a significant amount of money that they've set aside in those accounts, where I recommend that they put it into a rollover IRA, because it's either a lot of money or they're closer to retirement. And instead of chasing returns or being limited by some of the more basic investments that they have in that company plan, rolling it into an IRA gives you more flexibility in terms of the investments that can go inside of that account, or even whether you choose to have that account managed.